Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones, Dr. Bones.
Right on, and good evening. This is Dr. Bones, and tonight my special guest is country music star out of Canada, Jim Lavette. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So, very first off, Jim, I was reading over your bio, and it said you wrote your first song at 9. Now, just previous to that, can you remember exactly what age you were just kind of completely inspired, saying, you know what, I really love music, and I just want to play it?
Around then, I found an old acoustic guitar in our attic, and I started hacking away on it, and I was kind of hooked ever since.
Now, that being said, when you first started, writing out, say in your later years, so let's say your teen years, what kind of gave you the idea of, not the idea, but what kind of drove you towards writing country music as opposed to anything else? Did you have like a lot of influence and listen to a lot of country growing up, or how'd that go?
It was more of a country rock, southern rock thing. I was a real big fan of Lynyrd Skynyrd, Molly Hatchet, bands like that. So that's really what got me hooked originally. Right
on. Now, the one thing I was also reading is you have 6 albums. Now, you reformed the band recently to start recording music again. Now, I understand that unfortunately there was a bad car accident in 2013, but when you started getting back into it, did you have like a new kind of idea or kind of concept and new kind of lease because of what had happened?
Yeah, I did. It was, I used it almost as therapy because I had another concussion from the accident, and my thinking wasn't really straight, so the best thing I could do for myself at the time was just pick up my guitar, and kind of gave me some downtime, and turn the computer on and start going through songs again, and just started building from there. And it just kind of got out of hand on me. I started spending 6-8 hours a day down in my studio just writing, recording, and whatnot, and that's where these 2 songs came from.
Well, but that's what happens is when you get into it, kind of all time kind of literally just goes out the window.
Oh, it certainly does. When I was running my business there, I really didn't have as much time as I wanted to spend on the guitar and writing songs, so I was kind of glad to have the opportunity to get back into it as good as I did.
Well, for sure, because most of us have a 9-to-5 now, just because these days it's required. It's for the most part, and just having that much more time to work on songs has got to be like just really invigorating, right? Just because 9 times out of 10 it's like a 9-to-5 job, so to speak, and then got this much time to eat dinner and work on the music so I can get enough sleep so I can go to work the next morning.
Exactly. That's what it is. I find, and of course, like anything, if you can spend more time at it, you do a better job with it. So,
absolutely. So that being said, we're going to get into the first song here. This is the newest one. This one's called This Ain't My Day. Dig this. This is Jim Lavette.
Might have been the whiskey, could have been the cheap wine. All I know is I couldn't walk a straight line. Home to you, so you came to me. You said, where you go, where you been? Well, I don't know where to begin. All I know is I've been there before. Well, I had a little Jack, a little gin, a little ice, a lot of sin. I mixed it up and took it down got your law, you got your disorder. A thin line and a walk on the border. Well, straight away now, he came to me. He said, you got the right to keep your mouth shut. Turn around and get those hands up. You walk a straight line, I might set you free. Well, I had a little Jack, a little gin, a little ice, a lot of sin. I mixed it up and took it down. Well, then I headed out to paint this town. Well, all I know, well, that's safe to say, my life is a honky-tonky and country song cliche. Well, lost my woman, she took my dog. My pickup truck is dead and gone. Caught out in the rain, this ain't my day. Should've stayed in bed, maybe went to work. Well, had enough bad luck, trying to keep my head up. Getting hurt, but I can't give up. Better days are knocking at my door. Well, just not today. Could have been the Stones, it might have been the Motown. The little hip really gets done. Well, how it started, I can't really say. Well, I'm the type, easy led astray. It don't matter, I'm the one to blame. I'm pretty sure that I'll be here again someday.
Right on. This ain't my day in Jim Lavette. Now, Jim, I really, really enjoyed this tune just because it was so catchy, and just that the alcohol references is like, alcohol can solve a lot of things sometimes, at least according to some people, right? But just that was like a really, I love the piano in it. That really kind of like really brought it out. And when I hear the song, I kind of picture like certain areas. I mean, I know it's kind of cliche, but you picture like a beer commercial, the whole crowd just going nuts and just like having a blast, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's kind of, I've been in talks with a production company to shoot a video, and that's kind of along the lines of what I was thinking and what they were thinking too. So it would make a good beer commercial.
Right on. No, it just, like I said, it is a really good tune. I mean, I just like production wise and just like the flow of it, just really just like I said, I just really enjoyed this tune. Like, it really caught my ear like right away, and that's really cool. So really appreciate that. Now with songs like this, well, let's just go to the songwriting process. Like, when you write a song, do you just sit down and do it? Do you just wait to get inspired, or does it kind of just happen? Like, how do you go about doing that?
It's the guitar is my main instrument, so I always sit down with the guitar usually, and then I just start running through scales and the typical stuff that you do when you're practicing, and then eventually something just works out, and you find a nice little idea, and you go, wow, that'd make a great chorus, or that'd make a great verse. And then I have a couple recorders, small recorders, I start recording stuff on. I've got, I think, 40 to 50 hours worth of tape with all these little song blips and ideas on it that I've eventually been sifting through and looking at for new song ideas, of course.
Oh, wow. Now, do you ever go back and redo old songs, or just kind of once they're done, they're done?
Oh no, I go back quite a bit. Like I've got a few songs right now that are on my recorder, and when they were finished, I just wasn't happy with them. So I'm going to go back and tear them apart and start over and make a few changes and things. I think for every one song like This Ain't My Day, I've got 10 that just go in the garbage.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah.
Well, and fair enough, right? Just because, I mean, especially being a musician, you're your own worst critic, right? So
yeah, and when I'm doing it down here by myself too, I don't have another set of ears would be great sometimes, because I'll spend far too much time on something. Like I've one instance, I worked all day on a vocal for a song. I think I probably did 30 or 40 takes, and I wasn't happy with it. I just went to bed. The next morning I get up and I started listening to what I did the day before, and the first take that I did the day before is the one that I ended up using.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah, so for sure, like another set of ears is always nice. So you are your worst critic. You're never 100% happy with what you do. You just end up using the best one that you've laid.
Right. Well, I just the reason I was asking about that is because like I do it as a hobby, and I just use in-track off iPhone. And just speaking of vocal takes, when I was in the vocals for the one song, it's probably about 15, 20 times, but a lot of it is either I was a couple seconds ahead of the music or behind it. So it just wasn't lining up, and finally I got it, and then I hit a happy accident where I kind of layered it a little bit, and I was like, that actually sounds good for a chorus. Like I was actually, it happened by accident, but I can understand the frustration and just going back and forth, because I remember doing it, like, try it, wouldn't work, I was too far ahead, too far behind, finally got it, then that happened. I was like, oh no, what have I done? It's like, actually it sounds pretty good. So I lucked out with that one. Like I said, just a hobby, but I understand the frustration, trust me.
Oh yeah, and like I say, sometimes the easiest thing is you spend most time on, like a little 12-bar blues thing on the guitar or something I should be able to do, one take, you end up doing 12 before you get it right. It just seems to be the way it works.
Right. Well, the life of a musician, eh? That's the way it goes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, my next question is, like, we've talked about just a little bit earlier that you had 6 albums. Now, how, with your most recent recordings, that sort of thing, how are you kind of shaping up for an album? Is that, like, in the works, or do you have an idea of which way you want to do it, or is it just kind of like maybe you'll do it in a little bit?
No, I'm actually working on it right now. I've got about 8 songs in various stages of being recorded. Some with just the drum tracks done, others almost ready to be mixed. So I'm just trying to decide how many now. I think I might just call it with the 8, right, and go with that, because if I have a tendency to just keep going. Next thing I know, I've got 20 songs on, and it's next year kind of thing.
Yes, fair enough.
So I think I'm gonna leave it with the 8 I've got done. I'm relatively happy with all of them, so I'm gonna go with that and release a full album with This Ain't My Day.
Very cool. Now, are you going to be, or have you been promoting the album or the upcoming album by doing a lot of shows lately, or?
Yeah, we're got a lot of radio play, a lot of interest in it. So like I said, my old band is we're back together. We've been doing a lot of stuff. We've had, I think, 3 or 4 live gigs now. So it's just a matter of those guys learning all the new tunes and stuff, because I do lay all the tracks by myself in the studio. So I just give it to them, and they run with it. They learn their parts, and then we get together and we're ready to go.
Well, and that's worked out nicely, because you guys have been together or been playing together for so long. It shouldn't take much for them to pick it up, and away you go.
No, we do most of our work at home. Like, everybody learns their thing on their own, and then when we get together, we're usually good to go. We've been known to actually, once recently we didn't have one rehearsal together. We just learned everything at home, and we've now played live, and believe it or not, it didn't go over too bad.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, well,
risky, but it went over pretty good.
Fair enough, but like I said, that does come from you guys playing together for so long. It's almost like you have an idea of where the other person's supposed to be, or kind of or an idea of what they're going to get to next.
Yeah, my drummer is my brother, so him and I have been playing together our whole life. So, we couldn't gel any better, I don't suppose, than anybody.
Well, there you go. So it's exactly what I just said. So right on. Just before we get to the next song here, when you guys are on tour or playing shows, I know it's nice because you have the opportunity to kind of go above and beyond what you normally play in the studio, kind of improvising the song.